When you walk into Independence Village of Waterstone, one of the first things that catches your eye is the display of veterans' pictures along the walls. Veterans of all of our major conflicts. Some really interesting and exciting stories. Stay with us on My Life to hear more. Welcome to My Life. I'm proud to be sitting here with Chuck Jacobs over at Independence Village. Welcome to our show, Chuck. I'm glad you could be here. Chuck was born in Detroit. He fought in World War II. He started out training as a Navy pilot, then became a gunner later on. He was also on the Detroit Police Department, which is where he was born, for 13 years. As a patrolman, I believe, and then later as another 13 years as a crime photographer. He then joined the Sterling Heights Police Department for a few years. Chuck has been married to his wife for 60 years. He has 2 children and 4 grandchildren. And we're just tickled to death that you agreed to talk to us. Chuck, I know you've got a lot of interesting territory to cover with us.
Wow.
I'd like to start by going back. You were born in Detroit. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Whereabouts in Detroit were you born?
Oh, I was born on Girardin. It's on the east side near the Packard plant.
So you're an East Sider?
Right, correct.
Did you stay there for quite a long time? Did you stay?
Not very long. We lived there for a short time, and then I moved over on Minden, still on the east side.
What did your father do for a living?
He was a factory worker.
Did he work for the auto industry, or did
Right,
he?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Chrysler
Chrysler.
Corporation.
Okay.
I think he had a total of maybe 40 years with the Chrysler Corporation.
So he was in Detroit for a very long time.
Right. Originally they came from Terre Haute, Indiana. He came up first, and then my mother came up, and I think they were married in Terre Haute. My dad come up first, and then she followed him up.
So your dad was a Hoosier?
Right, yeah.
Did you know your grandparents?
The only one I knew was my grandmother. They owned a store in Terre Haute.
In Indiana?
Right. And we went down there usually every summer, and went down there to visit her.
Did you ever try to look up your family history to see who was first to come ashore in this country?
No.
So you don't know how far back your family goes in the United States?
Not at all.
Probably quite a ways, though, from what you've told me. Do you know if your grandmother was born here?
I don't believe so. I think they were, her name was Schmidt, and I think they came from Germany.
From Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember what school did you go to in Detroit for your first years in school?
Oh, first I went to Wilkins School. Then when we went to Good Counsel Church, and they built a 2-room school, and I went to Our Lady Good Counsel School.
So you went to a Catholic school then when they first built it. You were really part of history then, probably then, because I don't know that there were that many Catholic elementary schools around at that time, were there?
Right, they only had 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I ended up skipping from the 5th grade in Wilkins, going into the 6th grade at Good Counsel. And I went.
You tested out of the 5th grade.
Right, yeah.
Now, was there an order of nuns that taught in Our Lady of Good
yeah.
Counsel? What order was it? Do you remember?
Oh. No,
Well,
I know,
around here we had the IHMs and we had Dominicans and some other
Yeah.
ones, but they don't ring a bell, huh?
I know Mother Beatrice. She was a tough gal. And
I was going to ask you, was their ruler this long or was it that long? Maybe I know which order it was.
pretty good size. And she ran a pretty tight ship. And
So did you toe the line pretty well, or were you one of
Oh,
those?
yeah.
You stayed out of
We
trouble.
only
Kept
had-
your nose clean.
we only had 12 students in our graduating class
From the 8th grade?
from the 8th grade. There were 6 boys and 6 girls.
Now, did your mother work outside of the home?
Never,
Okay.
yeah.
What's one of the neatest things you remember about living at home with your folks back during your elementary school days? Was there a favorite thing that you did or a favorite meal that you had, or was there something that happened every weekend that you look forward to?
Well, I know one time we had asparagus for supper, and I stuffed as much as I could in my mouth, and I run into the bathroom and I spit it in the toilet. My sister followed me. She ran out and told my dad that I spit it in the toilet. And my dad said that Chuck's going to come out and he's going to have some more. So I had to go out and eat some more. And Dad watched me eat it and watched me swallow it.
But today it's your favorite meal, right?
Oh no, I still don't like asparagus.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had one brother and 2 sisters.
And where did you fall in the lineup? Were you the oldest or the youngest?
No, I was my older sister, an older brother, and a younger sister. And my dad cut our hair, and if it didn't go right, we ended up with bald hair.
Did they make fun of you in school over that sort of thing?
No, no.
There was probably a few other kids in the same situation.
Oh,
Yeah. What's your favorite thing that you remember about school then, with the nuns and the small class and everything? Was there a favorite thing that you did in school, or a favorite teacher, or a favorite event, or anything like that?
No, not that I can think of. I know when I left Good Counsel and I went to Denby, there was 500 students at Denby.
Big change.
Big change.
Yeah. We have to take a break for just a minute, but we're going to come back and talk about your experiences there. Okay? Don't go away. Chuck Jacobs is with us.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to historic Oxford.
Here at Independence Village with Chuck Jacobs, just talking about going into Denby High School. Now, what year did you graduate? Do you remember?
From Denby,
Yes, from Denby.
1942.
42. So this was around 1937 or so in the fall that you were starting high school at Denby, correct? Going from a little two-room situation to a big 500 kid high school. Of course, by today's standards, that's not huge, but it was sure big by then, those standards, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Do you remember what your first reaction was the first day at high school with all these kids, strange kids, different kids, so many kids?
I just didn't know where to go. I didn't know.
Weren't sure what room to report to.
Yeah. So I know my counselor was named Mr. Wolf, and he was a real gentleman, and he was a good guy to have as a counselor. And I always was good at drawing, and I took an art course. And I took art, I took history, geography, mathematics. I was good at mathematics. And English and history. I was interested in history and geography.
What was it like trying to fit in with that group of kids? Here you came from a little Catholic school to this big public school. First of all, there were so many kids.
Right.
But did you fit in okay? Did you get along okay?
Yeah, I do, at first how did I get to school? I tried to take the bus, and because we lived about 6 miles from there. I'd take the bus to school and I'd walk home, use my bus fare to pick up a chocolate donut at the bakery, and that was a big treat, you know.
So you skipped the bus to buy a donut?
Yeah. But, and that always worked. And there was, when I went to go get the bus, there was a guy standing there, and he lived down the block from me. And he became a very good friend. And so we ended up taking the bus to school together, become a good friend of mine.
What did you and your family do for fun, like on the weekends when you were living in Detroit and going to school? Anything stick in your mind about what you did?
There was a vacant field, and we had a ball diamond there. And we had, Sunday we had a big ball game. My dad played ball with us, and got all the neighbors out for a ball game. And in the evening, there was a, oh God, there was a 4-room, 2-room school. It was would you call it? It was a two-room school. Was a public school. Had just
Did you guys go into it and do something in it, or what?
well at night they had a next to it was a coal bin that they in between the two rooms. They had a furnace that would heat the two rooms,
Uh-huh.
and they would shovel coal into the furnace for it. But we used to climb on that roof of that, jump on to the school, the roof of that portable, and lay on the roof of that.
So you jump up on the coal bin and then up on the roof.
Yeah, and
Did your parents approve of that?
oh, they didn't know about
They
it.
didn't. Now, it kind of sounds to me like your summer vacation was going to visit your grandparents in Indiana. Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Is that something you look forward to every year?
no.
No. How come?
Well, it was not much we could do. And Bill and I, my brother, we would, they lived right by the depot, the railroad depot. And we'd go down there and watch the trains come in. They were all steam locomotives, and wave at the engineers. The engineers were very impressive, friendly guys, you know. And we would maybe get a dime and go to the theater.
Were you there for the whole summer, or just
Oh
for
no, just
a couple of weeks? Or
my dad maybe get a 2-week vacation from Chrysler's. We'd go down there for a week, and then Dad would come home and paint the living room or something. He always only spend a week down in Terre Haute, and then he'd come home and do some kind of a chore.
did you have a lot of aunts and uncles down there?
Just my grandmother and one of my dad's sisters lived down there. And I think my dad was, he was a sole support of his family when he was 6 years old. He quit school and had to support his family. He was,
Did he lose his father early in life?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, he was, he had, God, there was Uncle Roy, Uncle Carl, Uncle Dude, and he had about seven kids, and when he was 6 years old, he was the sole support of all of them
Wow.
kids.
big responsibility.
Yeah.
We need to take another break right now, but
Okay.
I want to come back, maybe talk more about that, and also get back to Michigan and what was going on at Denby High. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. here with Chuck Jacobs on My Life. Chuck, you were just talking about vacationing in Indiana with your grandparents every summer. And I'd like to bring us back to Detroit now, to your high school days. You went to Denby High. Did you play any sports at Denby?
No, not at all. I went out for freshman football. They lined us all up according to size. I don't think I was 100 pounds. So he took the first 11 biggest kids, and Jim Stout was a football coach. He took the first 11 kids by size, and then he took threw a football to the rest of us. Since you guys go to the end of the field and play, have fun, and that was it. He didn't care who was any good. Didn't matter.
Did you participate in any other activities while you were in high school?
Just the art, but it wasn't no school-sponsored anything. But that was it. As soon as I could, I got shortened hours, and I set pins in the bowling alley.
So that's what you did to pay for your date nights, eh?
Yeah.
Do you remember what bowling alley you were at?
Denby Recreation and Ritter's Bowling Alley. I got 6 cents a line, and when I got more proficient at it, I could jump alleys and get 12 cents a line.
Did you get pretty fast?
Oh yeah, I got pretty good at it, and I made quite a bit of money selling pins. You know.
When you were in high school, it was the start of World War II.
Right.
What was going through your mind in your senior year as far as what you were going to do next when you got out of school?
I was I'm not sure how I got the job, but I was a guide at Greenfield Village. You know where Greenfield
Absolutely
Village
do.
is? I was a guide there on December 7th on Pearl Harbor Day. And they came out and told us that they had, the Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor. And I had no idea where Pearl Harbor was. And somebody in I had a group, I was a guide there, and somebody in the group, some woman said she had a son at Pearl Harbor, and that was in the Hawaiian Islands. And so they brought a bus out, and anybody that wanted to leave, they could leave. So she and her husband got on the bus and they left. But I come home and I told my dad I wanted to join the Navy. And he said that nobody in our family had completed high school. So he said, why don't you finish high school? And then we'll talk about it. So I finished high school. And I was going to join the Navy. And then I heard about the V5 program, which was for flight training. And so I joined on my 18th birthday. I joined the V5 program, which was flight training. And
Had you ever gotten in an airplane before?
I had one airplane ride, but I was always building models, and I was really crazy about airplanes. I always lived near the city airport, and this friend of mine, we used to clean up, and his uncle owned a bar, and we cleaned up in the bar on Saturday morning, and we went over and we got a ride in a open cockpit airplane.
Did your mother know about it?
No, but I don't know if she would have cared or not. But anyhow, we got a ride in an open cockpit airplane.
Was it exciting?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And, but that's where, that was the first airplane ride I had.
Did you find that a lot of the kids in your high school class left school early
Oh,
to
yeah.
go to the war? Because back then they would allow it.
Yeah, yeah, and there were, about 5 guys that I had real good friends of mine, you know. But everybody, they either quit school or as soon as they finished school, they went into the military,
Yeah.
you know.
How'd your mother feel about all this?
She didn't say anything one way or the other. My mother was very, very complacent, I think. I talked to my dad more than my mother. She didn't say much one way or the other.
Were any of your brothers or sisters in the war?
My brother was. He got drafted. And when I enlisted, he said, "You're crazy," you know. He says, "They'll get you anyhow." He said, "So why are you going to enlist?" But
At least you had a choice of a program.
it's what I wanted, you know. He got drafted into the Army. He ended up about 2 weeks after I enlisted, he got drafted. So he went anyhow, you know. But I enlisted and I went to Delaware, Ohio. And it was a flight preparatory school. And I went to Bowling Green, Ohio to a WTS school. It was a war training service.
Was training what you thought it would be?
Well, I knew what it was going to be. But it was we flew Piper Cubs, and I got 65 hours in a Piper Cub. Learned to just fly a Piper Cub.
We're out of time for this segment, but I want to pick up on that. I want to have another segment with you, Mr. Jacobs, because I want to hear about your World War II experiences and go on from there. We've got a lot of ground to cover yet. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Please rejoin us for part 2 with Chuck Jacobs.